Have you read Joshua 4? This past summer, I had the opportunity to connect with a fellow pastor and his friends who were riding their motorcycles back on Route 66 from California. They had been stopping and taking many pictures along the way of all of the interesting things along the Mother Road. When they made their way to Carlinville, I guided them north of town on the original narrow two-lane route to the turkey tracks. Almost 100 years ago, some turkey left their tracks in the wet cement, and to this day, they are still there. And of course, my pastor friend and company took multiple pictures. They didn't have time to make it over to my favorite road sign. This one predates Route 66 and sits north of Medora. There is about a 12-foot tall Burlington Way sign at a T in the road with arrows and mileage to 16 cities. St. Paul is the furthest at 554 miles. Markers like these from the past have significance. After the Israelites crossed the Jordan on dry ground, just like they had crossed the Red Sea, Joshua puts up a marker. It's recorded for us here in Joshua chapter 4, beginning in verse 20. Then Joshua set up in Gilgal the 12 stones they had taken from the Jordan. And he said to the Israelites, "In the future, when your children ask their fathers, 'What is the meaning of these stones?' you should tell your children, 'Israel crossed the Jordan on dry ground.'" I've often wondered what that stack of stones looked like. But then I considered that what it looked like was not near as important as what it stood for or represented. It marked a time when God made the impossible happen for the people. It memorialized God's ability to provide a solution. It reminds us that God has control over the land, water, and air. It gives me reason to trust Him. Looking back over your life, do you have markers in place to remind you of what God has done? Your past history of answered prayers and the interventions of God on your behalf provide the foundation for your trust in Him, your faith, your present walk, and your future decisions. Those markers need not to be a work of art, but rather a reminder of God at work in your life, and a reminder not only for you, but for those around you. Keep reading, encourage others to read, and expect to find more gems to help us live like Jesus. Thank you.